what do you make of this as a concept and as an experiment? Because as I understand, they do it in Japan, they do it in America, and they're hoping to bring it here.
I think the idea of bringing people of different ages together is not new. I think what we've done was to make an experiment to see what changes it would make and to measure those changes and to record them. And that's what makes it rather different from what other people have done.
So, Pat, who approached you? What did you think of this idea? Were you happy to take part? Were you a reluctant star of this show?
I don't think I'm a star, but I know I jumped at the chance because I don't have grandchildren, do have some godchildren, which is lovely, but I don't see them very often, and I've worked with children for a long time and really enjoyed it.
You were a speech therapist?
I was a speech therapist, yes, or as they call it these days, speech and language therapist. Okay. It wasn't then. But so really I thought it would be a lovely opportunity to be with children.
Yeah.
So how did the filming work? What was the typical day for you all?
It was quite a hard day, actually. We started off by being up there by 9:30. We had to be in the big atrium.
Well, now there's Karen. Karen is Dot's mummy. Had you any reservations about this, or how did it work out? What surprised you about all of this, and how did Dot take to this?
The only reservations that I had were if they were going to be sort of scrutinising Dot and her character.
Yeah.
But all the monitoring was done to the old people, so Dot, they didn't show like the cheeky one, the cute one, the naughty one. They just had them interacting with the old people, and they were like the catalyst of their improving their well-being, which is.
Well, Professor, what is happening? What scientifically is happening that is of most interest?
When you bring people together of different generations who are not related, they're strangers, they don't have any preconceptions. Older people were anxious. I can speak for Pat and others.
Yes, absolutely.
Were anxious and unsure, but mostly willing, not all. 4-year-old children are very open and easy, have no prejudices, mostly don't know older people of this age. The older people were 20 times their age. And what we see in the programmes is the way that they react to each other, and it is very engaging and interesting. What we did, there are 3 of us experts who did assessments of the older people before they began, and then in the middle and at the end. And it was an experiment because we didn't know what would happen. If we had known, it wouldn't have been an experiment. So they were put through nearly 20 tests. And at the end, the changes were really significant.
Yeah,
and even
Pat's,
for me,
Pat's not,
yeah,
well, Pat's not in a way at this.
Quite scary, some of that.
So what did it bring to you and your fellow residents of St Monica's?
Do you mean when we'd finished, or during the
so
time?
during it as well.
During
how
it,
did you see
we got very
people
tired,
change?
actually. That was one thing that did happen, was we got very tired. But none of us wanted to give up. We wanted to keep going, and because we loved the children, we really missed them when they went. But I think it changed some people's lives quite a bit. And most of us felt that it had been really good fun, and we'd enjoyed it.
So, Dot, what did you think when you went to St Monica's and you met all these different people who were much, much older than you? What did you do with them during the day?
Did you play with them?
Drawing or painting? What did you do?
Well, she must have done something, Professor. We'll just see more scenes from all that's going on there. But, Professor, one of the things which Dot will have contributed to, whether she was aware of it or not, was company for older people. And one of the shocking, and it made me quite emotional, actually, to read that in care homes around the country, nearly 2/3 of people who live in these care homes do not receive a visit, ever, which I think is a social disgrace on all of us. And loneliness contributes to dementia, contributes to early death, all sorts of things. And these children, I suppose, were inadvertently dealing with things like that.
Yes. Old age is characterised by loss. when you get to be as old as the people in the programmes, mostly in their 80s and 90s, you become frail, you lost a lot of friends. It worked in a way that was more impressive than I thought was like.
Well,
I
amazing.
can't wait to see it.
And it's on over 2 nights,
Yeah.
remember, 9 o'clock tonight and tomorrow night on Channel 4, the Old People's Home for 4-year-olds, of which Dot Davis is one of the
Dot
stars.
was a quiet 4-year-old today, but she's not normally, is she, Pat? She's
Pat,
not.
lovely seeing you.
Lovely to
Karen,
meet you.
Professor, thank you very much indeed.
Dot's
thank
more
you all.
interested in her shiny shoes today.